So it's Tuesday afternoon. We're here at the Shea Stadium for another episode of Fax TV. Today, though, we have an exclusive. We've got Ben Johnston with me, and as you've hopefully just seen, he's signed a new contract, everybody. The best bit about it is a 3.5-year deal, and I'll keep him here to 2017. And you will still be sub 25, won't you?
Yeah, but I'm still only young. Yeah, I'll still be learning then. Yeah, just over the moon to get the contract. Obviously, real grateful to Carl and Crowdy, everyone involved at Halifax. You know, I'm just looking forward to the next 3.5 years now. Yeah.
It must be nice to do a bit of settling down now, because you had a bit of time in Dewsbury. You had obviously a bit of time at York City.
Yeah, I wasn't really breaking through with Castleford, so I was a bit all over the place. But now, like I say, with a bit of security, obviously they've shown a lot of faith in me here at Halifax, and hopefully I can repay them now.
How you found the first period of the club then? Have you found a bit of settling? Because there must be a difference between being a dual resh player and being a permanent player.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, that added security and you know, just being around the same faces and same coaching staff all the time. It's good for you know, the team to gel, and I knew within the first couple of weeks of being here that I knew I wanted to stay here, and I've loved every minute of it so far.
What was it then about coming here? Was it the camaraderie? Because the few people know who turned up to the supporters evening know you got a nickname. You got that nickname quite quickly, didn't you? Do you want to tell people what it is?
I've got a few, I think.
Ones you can tell us anyway.
Yeah, the rat seemed to stick, courtesy of Crowdy. Unfortunately, yeah, that stuck. But yeah, it's all a banter between boys. It's a good laugh. And yeah, just a great set of lads.
How you found your partnerships? Because when we started in pre-season, you had a bit of time with Brownie, and then it swapped down and you had some time with Scott.
Yeah.
Have you met your own expectations already, or was you expecting to keep that spot for the whole season?
You know, coming here, I always, you know, the goal is to start every week, but I knew with Scott and Brownie, mental complaint halves, I knew it was going to be a tough position to secure. I've been, well, apart from the last couple of weeks, I've been pretty happy with my form. But the competition for players, just, you know, that spurs you on. You need to be at your best every week.
Did you look at how Halifax had played beforehand to try and understand how you wanted to play? Or was it a case of you were able to fit in with your own style and you knew it was a good compliment?
I think I was excited about the way the forward pack they had, because I've never really played behind a dominant pack, you know, like Tony Tonks and Ambler, Adamson. Always going to set a good benchmark for you and going forward, so yeah, I was excited about that, definitely.
What we'd like to know though, can you actually play any other position if you had to?
I made my Super League debut at fullback. I'm not sure if I can play there, to be honest. It was a bit of a not my best performance, we'll say that.
Who was it against?
London. Hooker, if I don't mind attacking at hooker, but I'll have to hide in defence if I was to play there, I think.
Going through your playing style, a lot of people seem to like the way you attack the line. Do you enjoy that? I mean, last Sunday wasn't the best of surfaces, so you fell over your backside for a few times. Does that ever feel like it knocks your confidence?
No, not really. No, I'm falling over, getting whacked by big guys. That's just part and parcel of it. That's what I've done since I was 4 years old. So 18 years now. It's just rugby, isn't it? That's my job, to take it to the line and put people in holes around me.
Tell us a bit more about yourself. Who did you play for at juniors?
I played first for York Acorn, then I moved over to Castleford. So started at went to Smallthorne there, and then I was on scholarship with Wakefield. They released me because I was too small. Went to scholarship with Castleford, and then yeah, signed. Oh, sorry, I went to Lock Lane. Went to Lock Lane because Castleford didn't think I was ready yet, but they've always kept an eye on me. And then after a year at under 17s, I signed in the academy. Yeah.
So tell us a bit more what Ben does then to deal with the height issues then. I've never suffered from it, so you have to tell me.
Well, I don't know really. You've got to be tough, haven't you? You've got the people around you. Just be smart, you know. We've got the big lads who look after me. Just keep ducking and diving and avoiding their big lads, really.
What's been your favourite moment so far then?
Today, probably, signing this. I don't know, I'll probably hammering Donny. That was nice to put a big score on and play like we can for probably the full 80 minutes. 'Cause that's what we're capable of when we do perform like we can. You know, featherweight were good for a lot of parts, but obviously the result. And you know, I've never beat them, so that's one that I'll be targeting when they come down here.
Who's the most influential person in at the club at the moment that you look at and you think, yeah, a bit more, or he's the wise person for you here?
I think like Carl as a coach, you know, he's real passionate. So you know, you can feed off that. But as a player, you know, obviously Scott Morrell, he's a great leader, and he's been there and done it. He's always happy to help me and advise me. Obviously, there's parts of my game where I need to improve and learn, and he's really influential there. And probably Tarks, Luke Adamson, even for a forward, he's pretty smart. So yeah, I'd say them two are most influential.
So we've obviously had a bit of a roller coaster for the beginning part of this year, which is unfortunate. How do you, for somebody who plays such a pivotal part in the team, go forward then to help?
Well, I think personally and like collectively we need to just find consistency. You know, we have the personnel we have here. It'd be devastating though not to make that top two. Like I say, just keep working hard. We're doing the right things in training. We're all, you know, we're not going out there on a Sunday last 2 weeks to perform really average at best. Way we have, it's just not acceptable really at this club. So I just need to keep working hard, stick together, and you know, the performances will come.
Thank you very much for your time. Excellent news that Ben has signed on. We're hopefully going to have a lot more of this, and we're all looking forward to seeing Ben score considerably more tries. And the way you're going with the man of the matches, you'll be probably the star man at the end of the season at this rate. Which game are you really looking forward to coming up, or do you just want to get Rochdale beat?
Well, yeah, we'll take that one. That's obviously going to be an hard game. You know, there's no easy games this year, but personally, you know, obviously Fev and Lee, they're the so-called big teams, and I think, you know, especially Lee, they need knocking down a peg or few. So looking forward to that.
Thank you very much. So we now got Carl Harrison with us after the fantastic news about Ben Johnston. You've got to be pleased.
Pleased with Ben Johnston signing, absolutely. He's an extremely good player. You know, we looked at him last year, and he hurt us when he played down here for York against us, so we kept monitoring him, and when the season finished we touched base, and I went to meet him on Sunday morning in Castleford at Starbucks, where, to be fair, I had no money on me, so he ended up paying for the coffee as well. I just thought, I came away from the meeting and just thought, oof, he's a little bit small. First impressions. So I spoke to a few people and got really good reviews from everybody I spoke to within the game, and so we thought we'd take a punt on him. Obviously we brought in Simon Brown to play alongside Scott Morrell in the halves, and John was going to be like an impactive type of halfback for us. From the first day of pre-season, he laid his marker down that he's a starter, and rightly so. He should be offered a extended contract and an improved contract for this season, which is a massive credit to him and the club for backing it, because there's not many people within the game who's got what John has, and that's that pace. He needs to improve and add things to his game to be better, but I'm sure he will if he keeps listening and learning.
I mean, surely you should know best. In fact, some small players can come through and make a massive impact. You play with the likes of Paul Bishop, who is very, very small. When it comes to players like Jono, though, is your concentration going to change? Because, like you said, when he came in, he was only going to be maybe a standby player to Brown and Morrell. Have you had to change your focus on his development, or is it a case of you knew how he was going to develop for the whole season?
No, we knew what he could do when he came. We didn't know how dominant he would be behind the scenes, and forcing the coach's hand to throw him in the starting lineup for our first friendly at Castleford. And from then he was quite an easy choice to pick Jono as the starting halfback for the season, and he thoroughly deserves that chance. And it's up to him now to maintain that his form. He needs to improve his form for the team to get better. He's far from the finished article, but he's a kid who does listen and will go forward.
Because of his small stature, but because of his skill levels, is it something that actually you can work with him and get him to exploit defences like he always has done with multiple teams?
Absolutely. And we keep saying, and people think it's becoming a bit of a cliche, when the grounds dry out, he will become a threat. But that is absolutely right. You know, if we can open defences up, make the spaces between the big men larger than what they should be, you know, people like Ben Johnston are going to go through. Look at Robbie Burrow. I class him as a Rob Burrow type player. And we all thought Rob Burrow, when he came in the scene all them years ago, that, he's too small, he won't last a season. 400 games later, Rob Burrow's still one of the best players in the Super League. And Jono has got that ability to join him and play in a similar sort of mode because he's tough. He's just not a quick player. He's got good skills. He needs to improve his kicking game and his decision making, but he's tough. He's a tough defender, and that's why the boys like defending alongside him, because he's not an half-back you have to protect.
And obviously that makes him surely more dynamic as well when it comes to comparing him to like Mennel. I mean, Mennel's obviously could be played at hooker, and we brought in as a hooker. Do you ever see him developing as a different type of player, or is it because of the interview you just had he can't play in any other position?
He can play. He said he made his Super League debut at fullback. And with the way the modern game's going, you know, most teams now have an half-back at fullback to create that third pivot. And Jono, maybe, now we've heard that publicly, we might try him in practice, see what it looks like, but I'm sure Ryan Fieldhouse won't be too happy about that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your time, Carl.
No problem.
It's a very exciting signing, and we can't wait now to see him continue in a Halifax shirt for the next 3.5 years.